Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Light Up the Darkness. This is episode 10 entitled Disconnected, and this is part 5. Now, first, I want to apologize for taking so long to come out with the final chapter in the Disconnected series. I've been handling a lot lately, and most of it stems from the fact that a lot of people, especially persons who live in Jamaica and the wider world at large, they are asleep and they are blind to what's happening around them. And this is very concerning to even me. Now, I'm not sure how I can say this without sounding like a crazy person, so I'm just going to say it the best way I can. People need to wake up and see what's happening around them. Everything that we see happening in the news, in social media, everything that we've gotten used to that's become normal, this is not normal. And persons are accepting things that should be very unacceptable. Things that are happening on the road, in the schools. I never thought I'd ever see the day people try to rob banks in Jamaica. And that's happened multiple times, literally within the space of 2 or 3 weeks. It happened to different banks. And it's crazy to see that people are falling asleep or they're sleepwalking through their life. I paid $50 for one single egg today. A, a loaf of bread or a bag of bread is over $500. A bag juice is $40. It's almost $200 for a soda. If you want a bun, that's 150. If you want a big long bun, that's a 350. And the list goes on and on. At what point in time we're gonna realize as a country that things that get really, really expensive, and because we're so caught up with what's happening in social media, we don't even have time for lick out our protests against the injustice that's taking place in our very own country. The Prime Minister added 44% to the minimum wage amount, which brought it up to $13,000. And the minister advised that this is going to be very negative on businesses and consumers because with that increase, the cost of living is going to rise even more. People, do you have to be starving to realize that things are going to get worse and not better? Do you have to go to the shop and realize that you have to choose between paying your bills and buying food to eat for you to realize that something is definitely wrong with our country? It's just shocking to me. Let me show you how crazy Jamaica is right now. If anybody at random should get $100,000 right now, that would be finished within a couple of days. I know persons who go to PriceMart every single week or every fortnight. The least they spend is $40,000 to $50,000 on groceries. We don't start talk about rent and bills and expenses and other things as yet. We don't talk about other things like clothes and social like Netflix and other things that they pay for. $100,000 will be lost in grocery or food bills. And many persons in this country, and you guys can confirm this, have never held $100,000 in their hands. Most persons are barely able to see and make ends meet. Most persons live hand to mouth. Most persons are living below the poverty line. And it's just crazy to see that these things are happening. And there was a time when we would have protested. There was a time we would have come together for a common cause and make our voices heard. I don't know what's happening to that time, but I can guarantee you this much. When you go to the shop and you can't buy a bread because a bread is $1,000, I hope you understand that this was a warning that many persons were sounding, but nobody cared to listen. Nobody cared to stand up and unify and come together as one to make our voices heard. No, we were all distracted with what's going on in the media and news and current affairs. We didn't care about what's happening in our very community. We didn't care about what's happening in our backyard. We didn't care about what was happening in our own country. No, we were worried about what's happening in America. We were worried about the new designer shoe or clothes or game that came out. We were worried about sports and other foolishness. People, it's full time that we wake up. It's a full time we shake off whatever insecurities or things that were holding us down or holding us back. It's a full time we pull up our socks and take responsibility for what we cause. And even though you might say you never vote and you never do this, you never do that, we all are responsible for what we allow to happen. Because if you're going to be technical about it, we are the government for the country. They are supposed to be working for us. And yet, we allow them to rob us, general us, steal from us, and spend our money and steal our money. And yet, we never have anything to say because it doesn't affect us directly. There will come a day where their mistakes are going to catch up to you, and you're going to have to pay for that. When the reality check comes, I hope you can cash it. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful night. Light up the darkness. Open your eyes and see life for what it truly is. Light up the darkness. Be safe.